Have you had this moment before where you think, oh, I know something, I think I want to help people understand it, and maybe I can write a blog about it or make a YouTube video about it or anything, and then you think, no, I haven't really mastered it yet. I think I will be a hypocrite if I would share it. A lot of times we have this problem between being aspirational and helping people with what we know and being authentic to where we are right now. And you might think that you can't share anything because you haven't mastered it yet, you're not an expert in it, or you're not a millionaire, but you can share a lot of things. You can educate people in the small things and in the things that you actually know. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Shared Diversity. If you are new, salam, I'm Sina. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have been here before, thank you so much for coming back. Today I talk with Shahd Batal about the difference between being authentic and being aspirational and how you can hold the balance, especially when you build a brand that is meant to inspire people and help them and educate them. Inshallah, if you like it, subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. What part of this interview and of our conversation did you really like and that really resonated with you? Maybe put the timestamp on it and a quote that you really liked so other people can see what inspired you. What are very practical tools that you use for yourself to preserve your own character, to grow as a person and develop yourself, and then at the same time create content that can, as you say, benefit those sisters and those younger girls that you want intentionally be influenced by your content? How do you navigate that practically?
Yeah, I think I've never wanted to feel like I was being performative, right? I think my content has always been, this is where I am in life right now. And I can never speak for my entire journey or in the future. It's like, this is where I am right now. And it wouldn't be natural for me to, always talk about how high my iman is and how all of these things are, because that's not the case, even my journey with modest fashion, I guess, if we talk about that, because there's a lot of conversation about that. I think I went from not wearing the hijab, not always being the most modest dresser, to being like, okay, I want to wear it. And mind you, I do have a platform at this time, so there are people watching the whole journey. Okay, I think I'm going to wear it. I was wearing, half of my hair was out, and I was wearing I was in a weird in-between phase, which I'm so glad I went through. And then there's a phase where I will be really conservative, and then a phase where I'm not. It's such a fluid thing. But I'm aware that there are people watching it the whole time, but I can't perform and be like, this is where I am all the time, because I think when it gets performative is where there's a lot of resentment that is unnecessary, that I don't think we've really had to deal with before social media. And so for me, I'm doing the best I can. I cannot be the face of all Muslims. I cannot speak on behalf of everybody, but this is my journey. And I'm lucky, alhamdulillah. I feel like the reason why people have stuck around through all of these changes, because I've been 5 million people since I've been on the internet, is because I do speak about things that matter to me in the midst of the beauty and the fashion. Like I said, I'm really grateful that I get to make my hobbies into a career, but it's bigger than me. It's everything I do is much. It all has a much larger meaning, from the natural hair, that journey, to my journey of what does modest fashion, what does modesty look like to me? When I first started wearing it, I was like, oh my gosh, everyone. And modest fashion on the internet was a lot of dresses, a lot of skirts, which were beautiful and very modest, but I'm too reckless to wear a dress every day of my life. And I didn't know my personal style, so I think people were watching that. And I think through the evolution of this, I can look back and be like, wow, I have grown so much. My self-confidence, I'm not looking for that type of validation that I think I may have when I was younger. But even now, it's like I really am loving wellness content. I'm really loving self-care. I think those are my favorite videos to create, to edit. I feel like that it has a larger impact for me at the moment, and for other people, because that's what I'm passionate about at the moment. And I'm not, I do still love beauty, but I don't I've fallen out of love with it a little bit. So for me to continue doing something that I know people like, I know people want to see, but doesn't feel authentic to me, I know I'm going to start to resent it, or I'm going to start to resent myself or the internet for not being authentic to where I am at the time. And that's why I always say, when people ask me, where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? I'm always like, I hope I'm doing something that feels authentic at the time. Because if I had guessed where I would have been 5 years ago, where I would have been now 5 years ago, absolutely not where I am right now. But this feels authentic right now.
Yeah. Inshallah, I really hope you liked this part of our conversation. If you want to hear the full conversation with Shahd, please go to the full episode. I'm linking it here and in the description below. And if you think someone needs to hear this message urgently, share it with her. Subscribe to this YouTube, subscribe to the podcast to stay educated on the go. And I'll see you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.